This week on Between Two Biomes, Masta and Mashi take you through all the new courses and pick out a couple M-Pals. Then they get a couple guests in. RDeyer, RunpuddRun. New York, New York is coming your way soon. We get a sneak peek today on the show. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 5. Bourbon, Beer, Biomes, Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, Friday, hello.
And the best night of the week, right? Is the best night of the week.
And we have Hollywood Squares tonight with everybody joining us.
We have special guests tonight. It's awesome.
It's a foursome. We can do a scramble. We're having a scramble.
We're having a scramble. We have a B2B scramble right here on screen.
You can be all-time putter, Master.
That's about all I can do right now. I don't even know if I can.
I want to see him wheel on his little kneel chair with a putter in one hand and kind of work his way to the green, to the hole.
Yeah, I couldn't even make it through virtual golf with Tech Bud. By the end, I was like, I got to sit down. Oh, we were supposed to play with him this week. We never got around to that.
We were supposed to. We never got around to it because there's so many damn courses launching.
Yeah, and then these guys came to us with a little surprise, so we're like, ooh.
They did. But I like surprises, so.
But you guys are gonna have to wait for that. We have business. Yep. We have business.
We got business. How are you? How are you, my friend? How was your week?
I'm all right. You? How was your week?
Good. Busy. Good. It's Friday. It's Friday night. It's my favorite day of the week. I get to drink bourbon and be with my friends and talk B2B. So
yeah. And for people that don't know, we have two distinguished guests here tonight. One of them, and I know you'll know the names. You probably just don't know the faces. Although Angry Ball Guy at the bottom, everybody knows him as RunpuddRun.
Angry Bald Guy.
Come on, that's like the Discord, the designers.
I know exactly, but like, I have never known. I don't even know where he came from because listen. Run and I go back to we both started doing this around the same time, and I've only known him to be just happy and jovial. So I don't know where.
Well, I think it started when someone compared a picture of like the wrestler Austin, whatever it was.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes. So then it became Angry Ball Guy, whatever.
And Are you going to ask me how I knew it was Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Maybe because you're from Austin?
I am. Maybe I'm a big wrestler fan. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that could be it too. And then one square above him is actually we've had both these guys on the show is RDeyer, who is a work colleague of mine. Now we don't actually work. I mean, we work for the same company, but we really don't.
Do you really work for I did not realize y'all worked for the same company. I knew you were in the same industry. I don't know if I realized you're in the same company. Wow.
Yeah. He is. Were you a part of that acquisition, or did you come in after that?
Yeah, we were acquired.
Yes, you were acquired. I just didn't know if you Okay, so you were part of the acquisition. Okay,
yeah, I was pre-acquisition.
So what is your internal version of like what's your internal chat tool that you guys use?
WebEx.
WebEx.
Yeah,
so
we
you
were
use WebEx,
Slack, and then we went WebEx.
Wait, in WebEx you can do WebEx without the actual video. You can just do like a Discord chat.
Yeah, I mean WebEx isn't just like it's not just like the video conferencing meeting. It's like a suite of things now. Yeah.
So are you guys like WebExing? Is that a verb? Do you verb yourselves? Like, are you WebExing at work, each other, like talking about,
Well, the funny thing is, like, I mean, we're getting way off topic here, but like years and years ago, WebEx was like the equivalent of what people say, let's jump on a Zoom now, right?
Yeah.
And then it became, Cisco took it and they made it so business oriented that it got away from the common consumer. And then Zoom comes in, COVID happens, and everybody's Zooming.
It's all consumer and COVID. Yeah, it's covered schools. But like, I was just curious, like, are you guys at work, like chatting over your chat app about like courses and stuff? Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Oh, no, awesome. We don't actually. I don't think we ever recorded through business stuff about
You should. You should. Y'all should get y'all should like you know, like just start chatting internally and be like, man, can you believe Run's new course sucks?
I'm looking for Master Blasted. I can't find him in the Cisco directory.
At my work, we have our names, and then after it, you can put in parentheses like a what you want to be called, and I put Mashy in there. So
I totally did the same thing at our sales kickoff. I think I sent you guys a picture of it, like when I was there. It said Master Blast on it. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so let's get down to the real business, which is what's everybody having to drink tonight? And
let's start with our guest.
Yeah, it's absolutely. So let's start on the bottom and work our way up. But move it forward. Move it forward.
There we go. I'll put it right in front of me.
Oh, shit.
I can't. What
high
is
class. It's a Busch Light.
It's a Busch Light.
Yeah.
It definitely goes with the angry bald man, theme.
I mean,
I
live in Iowa, so I don't really have much of a choice. So.
Wait, you moved?
Has the
you in Nebraska?
Yeah, we got moved last week.
Oh, you got moved last week. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay,
I was
cool.
going to say
your new place all settled in. You get your sim set back up.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Lots of honeydews to do before that happens.
Yeah.
Got it.
I was going to say the microbrew IPA craze hasn't made it that far yet.
No, it has. Well, there are some, but a funny story. So, a client of mine who lives in Vermont actually owns a microbrewery, and he sent me 12 4-packs of like their specialty microbrews.
Oh.
But he sent them to my old house.
Oh no!
And so my wife she just got home. She actually went and picked them all up. So I'll be able to enjoy those later.
Yeah.
I figured the new owners are like, they're sipping on their new.
Now, when we go to Mr. Dyer here, it's going to be two things. It's going to be a drink, and I'm sure there's going to be something else. So, what are you going with?
So I went Mr. Blue Sky from, let's see if I can line that up, to, it's a local, so maybe 10 miles from my place here, from Claw. And then smoking a Rocky Patel Vintage 90 series.
Let's light it up, because I bet if I see you light it up, I might be able to do that sense where I might start smelling it.
I'm trying to think of what my wife's reaction would be when she comes home and walked into my office and sees me drinking bourbon and smoking cigar and doing.
But he's got this crazy air system in there.
The humidor is right there behind him.
Yeah, I have a ventilation system independent from the rest of the house, so you don't smell it in the rest of the house. It kicks it out to the roof line, and it's sealed in here.
That's cool.
So
that's cool. That's
smart. We had a work call, and he had a campfire in his office. It was just
when we do launch celebrations at work, they will catch me on Zoom coming with celebratory cigars. They know me for it.
You should. You close a big deal, you want to fire up the cigar and see, they should. I love it.
Yeah. Work hard, play hard.
God, I can see the smoke. I can almost smell it.
I just have a Trogs Lolly Hop, which is just a hazy IPA.
Letting me down.
And like I said, the doctor said 1 beer a day, but he didn't say what size.
I was gonna say he didn't say that you couldn't have the big one.
It's just like a 22 ounce mug.
It's like the old 96er.
Yeah.
You come in with one of those towers from the bowling alley.
Yes. That has the frozen thing and they keep it cold. Oh yeah.
You need to get a DOS boot.
Yes.
Oh, I want to go bowling with you, right? That's that exactly. I want the big giant one with the icicle through the center of it.
I got. Let's see. We'll go DOS boot. Here we go.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Boot.
There you go.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to get out of this thing because it is. It's just 2 months I've been wearing this thing now. Ugh. Okay.
I am staying true with myself. I do have a brand new bottle. Now, we did not use a B2B funds for this one. It was a gift. So thank you, my wife's employee who gave it to her, which I then confiscated. So it's a bottle of a 1792 out of a small little distillery out of Kentucky small batch bourbon.
That's the show on Paramount, isn't it? No. the Yellowstone kick. I don't know. It's just
yeah, sure. It's good. I gotta tell you, it's really good. It's like I don't know how expensive it is. I don't know anything. Like I said, it was a gift to us, but it's a really, really good glass of bourbon over there. So, I came prepared too, since I know we'll have a long show with our guests on today. So I brought the bottle, I got my glass, and then I brought another glass with a couple extra pieces of ice. And I brought everything ready to sit here and keep pouring.
We're gonna have to. I mean, I'm driving again now, so and then we gave our YouTube earnings to charity. So it's in between my injury. It's been a while since we bought a bottle of bourbon, so I think we're about due. So maybe next month. Yeah.
Yep. I agree. Good. Let's go. We got a lot of good stuff to cover.
Yeah, let's do it. So new courses. What was the count, Mashi? We had 6 drop today. We took us by surprise.
I want to say it's I think it's 12 or 14 total since our last show, because we had 3 that came out right before we recorded last time that we included in this list. Yep.
And then 2, so it'd be like 11, I think. We'll see. Let's count.
We'll see. I've got them all.
So we got 3 here. Yeah. So we got tummy water. That's what I see. Tummy water.
Dude, you know. Now I can't unsee tummy water.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna do.
Yeah. You get sick when you're a little kid. Your mom comes up and gives you some tummy water, right? Well, Scott 67 did that one for us. Thanks, Scott.
Yep.
We had Yellowstone National Golf Club by BMAC. Now, I'll spoil the surprise. We did not MPAL this one. Okay.
But
however, it is extremely creative. And it's one of those courses. If anyone asks for a course to play with like a younger, not an infant, like toddler, like that's like farm, like the John Mayer farm, you know, knocking over the cows. This is like, to me, like a 10-year-old, 9-year-old, 8-year-old was going to like this, because it's like in Yellowstone with like the bison and you got the geysers coming around. So I thought it was very creative. Really creative.
Yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job on it. I just found a fair number of like technical things I would love to have seen addressed. I was on the fence on this, and for an MPOW, it's close. I think
just technical issues.
Cleaning up a few areas,
more implementation. A lot of blends that weren't quite right. Yeah,
a lot of blends that weren't right. A lot of blends around water that didn't blend in right. Things like that. But the course itself is a really fun course, and his implementation of it was really well done. So I thought overall it was pretty darn good. Right on the edge.
And then I learned Swedish this week. I can now speak it because Dallas gave me a lesson. So this is Unstern, Janland, Sweden, and it's Storsrabiden.
Nicely done.
Yeah, thank you.
Now I played Justin and Pac-Man, and I played a different course, but with Dallas. First time I actually played and got to talk with him over the course of our 18 that we played. Really great guy, and really good golfer too, man. He can hit the ball a long way.
It's like just call him Dallas, like Texas.
It's like Dallas. I'm gonna call him like Dallas, Texas. I actually screwed up because what I really wanted to do was put a picture of the Swedish chef when it came up on here. Exactly, but then I felt like, well, maybe that's too stereotypical of. They probably did a good job. They probably actually not butchering. He actually had said he couldn't wait for this episode to hear how badly we butchered the name of the course.
Storsrabiden.
Whatever.
It's like story, but story, draw it out, and rabbit, but with a soft T, den. Storsrabiden.
I've learned Swedish now.
Yeah, it's still probably not right, but let's just go with it.
It's not. It's close.
Now we got Lenoir Golf Club.
Lenoir, it's my grandma course, because I've got a grandma named Lenoir. So every time I think this course, it's my grandma's course.
Name's Lenoir? I never heard that.
Jeez. We do have a cousin in the family, an older.
Should have went with it. I believed you.
No, I won't lie. But we have a 60. I think she's in her late 60s, early 70s. Her name is Lenoir. And she's awesome, and she drives a VW Bug like in San Francisco, like 900 miles an hour, as fast as that thing would go. And she's an amazing woman. But every time I look at Lenoir, I think of her. So there you go.
We have Skyway Golf Course in Lincoln Park West, New Jersey. And I just think of Lincoln Park, or is it Lincoln Park is the band, isn't it? Isn't it called Lincoln?
Well, Lincoln Park's the band, right? But
it's spelled differently, but yeah.
It's spelled differently with a K.
Yeah. Broken Top Club in Bend, Oregon, a Tech Bud. Was that? No, we covered that one last week. That was in our list last week.
Okay, well, got in here extra stuff.
Yeah. So we got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here now. So we got Deer Valley Golf Club by T Squared. Golf Club Wentzville by KSU Cat. It's the first one he's had out in a while. Yep. Siloth on, my gosh, this is like a tongue twister.
Siloth on Slothway. No, it's a
Slothway.
Slothway.
Say that 5 times fast after 5 beers.
Sloth on Slothway. It's a
Siloth on Solway.
They run about 8-hour rounds. They just go really slow when they play. Very slothy.
Yeah. Gordo Great Belly. Your favorite name, Mashy.
Gordo Great Belly is right up there with what's the other designer?
Dickie One Eye.
Dickie One Eye.
And Big and Sweaty, wasn't that?
I can't get enough of Gordon Great Belly. I mean, I want Dickie One Eye and Gordon Great Belly to go to a course together and call it like Gordon Great Eye.
I know for a fact that Ryan knows all the names because I know why he knows all the names because he made streets after all. We'll talk about that. Southern Gate Golf Course. No one here gets the inside joke. You will by the end of the show. Southern Gate Golf Course in Mississippi by Pat S. I think, is that a rookie that has Pat S?
I've seen the name on Discord quite a bit, but I don't.
I've seen Pat's name. I think this is not his first course.
Okay.
Though. I think he's got.
God, we have so many different designers now. It's hard to keep track of who's first builds anymore.
Yeah. Well, and there's 23 courses in beta right now.
Yeah, right. So that was what we're up to 11. So 12, 13, I think. Was that the count?
13, I think, yeah.
Stuart Creef Golf and Country Club by Pac-Man. So this was something that came out of his Patreon. It was a V3 course that came out. And then we got Gunther's Landing. Sorry, that's not Swedish. We're not doing that
Alabama.
anymore. Yeah, it's in Alabama. Sorry, Gunther. It's just Gunther's Landing down in Guntersville, Alabama. David Bates.
And yeah, just to go back because I did check, it is Pat's second course. He did Riverside in Indianapolis.
So now that he's retired from Wheel of Fortune, he's building golf courses. Pat Sajak, right?
Pat Sajak. I love this. He's got a lot of time on his hands. He's building courses.
Yeah. I wonder if Vanna helps him out at all. Okay. So that brings us to the MPALs. Cue the explosion, Steve. Right. So Skyway Golf Course is number 1. So Jay Rockaway, who I think he's becoming the texture master, right?
Yeah, I agree.
This is a 9-hole course, and we were talking with our guest here that he is definitely concentrating on like the New York courses, for sure, right? And this one is in New Jersey. It's only 9 holes. Let me get our ugly mugs out of the way. I shouldn't have done that. Now, we were talking about this earlier. He has mastered the art of the pano. So what he's doing is he's going into, I think it's Google Earth, and he's taken these pano screenshots. It's not necessarily a screenshot. It's a function of Google Earth. Creates a pano, which is a long, narrow image of the horizon, and then he pastes it more or less, that's oversimplifying it, to like a cylinder around the course, right? Just a very quick way of coming up with these great images. So he's got this New York skyline and like this foggy, hazy, skybox over top of it. Yep. So pretty cool.
Yep.
Like it.
And it's really cool. We got some more close-ups of how to do it, but it's a really neat effect because you get the actual New York skyline in the background, and all you do is need it in the background. Without, and in this implementation, it works well because it's far off, right?
Yeah.
And then you put the skybox on it, and it all blends together really well.
A few of the guys have done the render docs as well, but the render docs use a ton of tries.
Oh, yeah.
That stuff is so low try the way he did it. It was perfect.
Well, and I find render docs too. I like it, but I also find render docs like it I guess it doesn't really matter because it's far off, but it always looks like it's apocalyptic. Like
it's
it
melting.
like
it's
it's melting, right? It's like the zombies are getting ready to come out of it. So I tried using it for something that was across the river, and they were too close to the render docs. Didn't you know what I mean?
I've used it a couple times, but yes, there's stuff that's far away. But given what he's doing here, this actually makes much more sense for a performance perspective, for sure.
How many courses does J-Rockaway have?
I actually just looked, and I think he's got like 6 or 7. Most of them are in the New York area. He does have one in California, and he did Sweetens Cove as well.
That's in Tennessee. Like how many? I was just trying to think like how many, because he's kind of been focusing on like the shorter, like the chip putts, and then the 9-hole courses. I think like probably like 5 or 6 of his courses are 9 holes. Or
yes.
Yeah, that's actually a great point. I'm looking right now. Let's see. J-Rock.
Sleepy Hollow, I know that's a full 18. That's a great course, but that's the only one I can think of.
He's got 6 courses out, and I think Sweetens Cove is a full 18.
Rams Hill's a full 18, right?
Which one?
Rams Hill.
Rams Hill is a full 18.
Sleepy Hollow is 18.
Sleepy Hollow is a full 18.
So maybe half of them are half. Yeah, half and half.
Yeah, then the Flushing Meadows Pitch and Putt is 9. Yeah, he's been half and half.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a graphic design background, so it was interesting. Someone posted on Facebook the other day, "Oh my gosh, the tools! These new courses are coming out. The tools are getting so much better." I'm like, no, I think what you're seeing here is there's just a lot more designers who really are understanding the process and getting really good at it. And I said we're starting to see a couple guys come in who have graphic design backgrounds who can just elevate this thing even higher. He's a perfect example.
And you add that with the fact that it's the internet, so if it's new, it must be good, and if it's not new, it must suck. So anything that was launched
Mashy, the internet is not fickle at all. Jeez. Get over yourself, internet.
Internet.
Yeah.
What would we do without you? We have no complaints. Tees, flags, all the standard these days. Great work. Looks good. Love the tee. The tee actually matches the bridge.
And then the fog rolls in. No, there's a sign. So.
Yep.
It looks like a sign for like entering a prison, doesn't it? County.
It does. Well, but there's actually on this course, I didn't get a lot of screenshots of this part, but there's a fence that goes around. Like think about it as a big rectangle, right?
Keeps the prisoners out.
Fence that goes around too, and it made me feel like a couple times I was like,
was there barbed wire on the top of it?
Razor wire across the top. It is Jersey after all.
More stuff. Yeah, I don't know if that looks like a whole new set of like ball washers he probably just built.
No,
is that an existing asset?
Definitely built those.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, real picky. I'd love to see some flowers along the base of or a shrub or something along the base of, but whatever, minor. So I thought the starting shack was pretty cool. Well, I hadn't seen that before. I'm sure it's out there. I just hadn't seen that asset before.
I think he must have built that. I've never seen that.
It looked nice and worn. Like the building. I mean, that it looked worn and it was cool. There's that giant bridge. Now, Master, you told me that he actually didn't build the bridge. He found it.
He found it. Yeah. So I reached out to him, and I think he definitely wanted me to, because I think he knows that this is like a big center point of the course. So I said, "Hey, nice job in this course." He went back and said, "Just want to let you know, I didn't build the bridge. I got lucky and I found it."
That's great, man.
Yeah, it is great. And I know, we got a blender master in here, RDeyer, and I think he's in his head right now. He's probably thinking, how could you build that, right? Where would you? That's a lot of extruding, and it doesn't look fun.
But on iconic stuff like that is like when I built Austin Country Club, I actually found a 3D model of the 360 bridge that goes over the river in the background. So one, I didn't have to build it, which is great, and two, it was an exact replica of what was there, and it worked perfectly. So,
I mean, there's some, like in my head, with thinking about this for Blender, there's some things in here that are easily repeatable, but then there's like some of these supports that are gradually bigger or smaller in between. You're constantly moving them and trying to position them.
Hard to build.
It's not as hard as you think. It's if you know what you're doing with it.
That's the question. If you know what you're doing.
Like big thing. There's one thing in there called proportional editing in Blender to make those curves like that. That if you put that in front of me, I could have it done in a matter of minutes. But I didn't. For the first 3/4 of the time I've been working with GS Pro, I didn't know that existed either. Like that's something I probably found 2 months ago. Like, Blender is so huge.
Yeah,
Blender is so huge. I mean, I just learned how to actually build rock walls. Like, I'm basic, right? But I learned how to build rock walls and bevel the tops and make them look rounded and add texture to it, and it looks good. And I'm excited I can do that now, right? It's a great Blender skill to have, but then it's amazing. It's
half
like
the
101.
stuff in Blender, I'm telling you, is not necessarily knowing what it can do, but how to search on finding the stuff that you're trying to do. Because if you don't know like the terms, and then you go, because there's YouTube videos for everything, but if you don't know to search for like proportional editing because this is something you want to do, but once you figure it out, there's a whole new world open to you because now you know how to search for stuff.
Yeah, but every time I find a YouTube video, it's like an 8-year-old kid doing it, and I just like forget it. I can't.
I kind of group Blender into like two different things. There's like the building, like that type of stuff, and then the core stuff, like you were talking about. Like they're two completely different things.
Yeah. And there's lots of different rules, and like with course building, the number one rule is don't let your meshes separate, right?
Yeah.
So these are this is amazing. This is like all texture stuff here. It's really cool.
But I was gonna ask, do you think he built that, or do you think that's RenderDoc? Or
that's not RenderDoc. That's not RenderDoc.
Okay.
That's a building. I actually have that asset, I think.
Okay, yeah.
And with the same texture on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not tiling anything. It's a single building wrap.
It's a single building. Yeah. Okay.
With a wrap on it. Yeah.
Same thing with those buildings on the other side. That I have that same pack, I think.
Yeah.
So.
And then I think he did some really cool fence netting stuff. I don't know if those are it. The ones he did like were saggy and stuff. They were pretty cool.
Those were cool too. I grabbed this screenshot to show that panoramic ground of the city, so you can see you're far enough away from Manhattan that you could do a 2D 360 panorama on it. And then the next one is if you go up close, so which is the next screenshot, I flew out there. That's all it is literally just an image file. That's a 360 panoramic flat image file.
Yeah, and then what he did here is these are actually real 3D buildings here, I'd assume, right? And if you just put a couple of those in, it breaks it up enough to make it look a little bit better, right?
It does. And then when you back out, you end up with the next screenshot is kind of like you get the skybox combined with the panoramic, combined with some buildings
and the smog
and the smog, and it looks really, really, it's really well done. Like it's a great way to do it, and like there's no advanced lighting or anything, but you don't need it.
Yep. Now if you turn on advanced lighting, does that panorama go? No, because it's on a cylinder. It's not a skybox.
The skybox goes away. The panoramic does.
I didn't try to change it to advanced lighting, but I bet that it really flubs the course. Yeah. All of a sudden you get a nice blue sky with like fog hanging out and the gray buildings underneath.
Well, yeah, because the fog is only from the panorama, because you can actually see a line where the fog and the blue kind of stops.
I think he has some gradient in here too.
Yes.
But the panorama definitely almost has like a fog in it, like as well.
Yep. Yep. And then great. I thought this was really cool. It looks like a storm is in the background getting ready to roll in, right? You got to hurry up and get your round done.
So that's the skybox then, right?
That's the skybox, correct. That's the skybox that's right above the panoramic. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I like the roping. I like the netting. He had little carts don't go up here. So I mean, it just looked nice. It was a good looking course all around.
Yeah, I moused through it. I think this is going to be a course we'll probably play. I still host a sim league, even though I'm not playing golf, but we might play this one next week because even the course itself looked pretty fun.
The course was fun. Yeah, it was a good course.
And
good. Lenoir. Rockaway.
Yep. Nice job, bud.
All right, Strong.
Yeah, Strong Design Studio, Lenoir Golf Club. This is where Mashy's grandmother plays.
Now, one caveat, by the way, on
short
Lenoir,
course.
It's a short course. There's an update coming, by the way, that should be out probably before this recording comes out, so maybe I shouldn't even mention it. But when he built the course, somehow it was a complete accident. His hazard lines fell out of Greenskeeper. He had them all, and it fell out of Greenkeeper. And so when you hit the ball in the water, it breaks the collider, and then it breaks GS Pro. You can't aim, you can't do anything with it. And so you play this course now, but don't go in the water, and then the update should be out any day now or less, and then it's all fixed and we're good to go.
That's an oh shit moment.
That's a yeah.
We've all had those building courses.
We've all had those.
Either do something, and after you do it, you're like, oh shit, I didn't want to do that. Or something happens and all of a sudden your course is all flubbed up and you're like, oh shit.
Well, and the worst part about it is like he was telling me he got V1 in released and it was 100% working great. And then he noticed that there was some grass on some cart paths. So he removed the grass and rebuilt it and submitted the update, and then it broke. He doesn't even know what he did to break it.
Good time.
But so like it was working fully, but it'll be back, no problem.
All right.
Great course though, really fun.
Another skybox, right?
Yeah.
And I call this like the lavender course because he did, we always looking for, like, we do MPALs, we're looking for courses that are somewhat memorable. And when I opened this up, I felt like it was looking more like an oil painting, right?
Yeah.
Between like like a lot of lavender, the sky was a little bit lavender, and I think he really played off of that color. Like this course to me has a different base color than you're typically used to seeing. I'm bad at colors and I do really bad jobs of mixing my blues and greens and stuff together. He did that, went off of this purple lavender. It's pretty cool.
And it's really good looking. I love the purple flowers inside the rough there, and it just kind of plays off everything. It looked really well. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, get rid of those ugly T markers though. Come on, man.
Yeah, listen, I gotta tell you, and if you go forward one, you got a custom flag. Just take 5 minutes and do.
Oh, you could take this logo, dude, right here, and replace it right there. Yeah.
Yep, just stick that on there. Exactly.
That was a cool shot. Good job in the vegetation. And then
another great shot.
Yeah. I'm not sure if now here, and this might have been just a lighting angle. The greens look a little too saturated for me. It's not bad, but now pop quiz for you guys. Do you see anything interesting in this photo?
All right. Trailer.
Yeah, look at the right. See the truck going down? Now that truck's moving, and I had to sit here for about 10 minutes waiting for it to come back. I was taking the screenshot. The truck goes by. I'm like, oh, what was that? I catch up to it. I see it, and I had to wait for it to come back. And yeah, there it is.
Hey!
It's the happy truck delivering all the good toys to the girls and boys. Now he reached out to me and he said, hey, do you care if I put the logo on there? I was like, no, not at all. I said, as long as it's a beer truck. Yep. And he assured me there's beer in there, so we're good. We're good.
Someone wanted an impound pretty badly there.
Yeah.
We are not above bribery, I will tell you that. Right?
Yes. Not by any means. Yeah. Now, when I saw the truck, of course, I followed it because it has beer in it. And it came...
blindly followed
Yes,
it, right?
I came to the end of the road. Now, that's a hell of an end of a road right there.
Yeah,
and now this is, of course, the golfer doesn't see this. I just thought it was hilarious that his inner just drops off like a cliff. So, of course, I just had to think about Thelma and Louise, and all I got to say is if you add one thing, take one of the cars that are driving up and down this road and just send them off.
Just running off the edge.
Put a couple women in the car and just shoot them off the edge and let them go. Yeah.
We should grab hands.
Good job. Nice job on the course.
Good job, man. Yep. Great job. Great. Congrats on the MPAL.
And then we have Deer Valley Golf Club, which is really funny because Deer Valley was the very first course that I built in GS Pro, but not this Deer Valley. Okay, I built Deer Valley in Hummelstown, Pennsylvania, which is about 2 miles down the road from me here, and it is a shithole. And this is Deer Valley in Saskatchewan, Canada, which I think after watching this, I'd much rather play than my hole in the wall course.
And this came out today, as a matter of fact. I think this is one of the new ones that dropped today.
No,
didn't it? No, this is not today.
No, this is definitely not today. Now,
okay.
And I will even say this: his Deer Valley is much better than my Deer Valley that I did. Yes, I go back and cringe over mine. So here we go, Deer Valley. So lots of things. Now T Squared. This is the guy who did. What was that course that just came out that I can't remember? It was Blue Dog.
Black something.
Black Dog. What was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone remember what the name of that course was that came out maybe a couple weeks ago and everyone was talking about? Yeah. Oh, Gray Wolf.
Oh, Gray Wolf.
Gray Wolf.
Oh, that course. Yeah. That was so yesterday. That course. No one there's new courses now. That one's old.
Yeah.
So many old courses now.
I was a little disappointed. I went on 16 on Deer Valley and I saw no deer prancing around. I wanted to see, there's a gray wolf on wolf, whatever, and then now there's no deer in Deer Valley. Come on, T squared.
Where are the deers, T squared? Get the deer out there. And by the way, I did just double check. This did come out at 1:13 today.
Deer Valley did.
Deer Valley came out
An
at 1:13
update
Mountain Time today in Discord. There
Lay
you
out
go.
the meds, Master.
I think I'm gonna go back and look, and no, I don't. Well, maybe. Okay. Anyway,
I love his
so
colors. He's got such a
Yeah.
great eye for color.
yeah, I'm pretty impressed with what he's been able to do so far. Now, one thing you brought up here, Mashy, was the fog. What did you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as someone who has used those particle clouds a lot and have learned the hard way, they can look really good or they can look a little forest fiery. And that one to me looks a little bit like there's a camper back there that got out of control, and there's a forest fire brewing behind the number 2. So in other places it looked great, and I know exactly the look you're going for a little steam coming off the water, but it's behind the lake there. But it looked a little forest fiery to me, so maybe thin it a little bit. Just a suggestion. Hey, you do you. It looks fine. Looks great.
Yeah.
Love particle effects, by the way.
Yeah, it was pretty good. He had them like drifting across.
Yep.
T markers.
Great T marker. I mean, we had this whole conversation about T markers in pre-show with Run and RDeyer here. Like, it's almost like there's no reason to not do custom. They're so easy to do. You can do them so quickly. Either that just taking the existing and change the logo. So I love good T markers, and this one looks great.
Yeah. It's also like a good T marker to me. It doesn't have to be huge to see what it is, and this is pretty apparent. It's high contrast. Yep.
Those are cool.
Cool T signs, or flags, I should say, rather.
You also noticed he changed the poles. That doesn't happen very often. Most people leave the pole alone, but this one he updated the texture on the pole.
Yeah, he put like a woodish, looks like a
kind of little woodish texture on it. Yeah.
Yep. And you liked flower boxes.
Well, that was a really cool little T sign. Like that's it. It's just a little small. And I've been on courses like that. They have this is a small little part number 1, par 5, and I thought it just looked great. It was a really nice looking little nature manufacturer bush in there in the box. But
we go through these trends, right? Where people for a while people were doing the big signs that had every hole map on it, and he went simple, almost the other direction.
Yeah.
If you're looking to learn Blender too, that's like a perfect intro project. I mean, it's like a cube with a 1 extrusion angled at the top. Textured once. Like, I mean, if you're going to try to learn it, I mean, like
that's
you said,
a great point. It's a great Blender project right there,
Yeah, Ryan, you're probably like me when people like post something like, "Hey, can anyone build this for me?" And you're like, "Dude, that is the perfect thing to learn on right there, man. Come on." Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it.
Ryan, can you make me a beer can? Oh wait, yeah, he's like Mashy. Get off your ass and go build yourself a beer can.
Ryan did build me the beer. Didn't you build me those beer cans, Ryan? For 3 Deck National?
No, I built you those.
Oh, you built me those? Okay.
Yeah, that was when I was first learning Blender, and I saw that. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good project. Let me figure out how to." That was when I was learning. I was taking a UV mapping course, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you can map a can. Yeah, I can do that." What label do you want?
Course on UV mapping, really? Like they?
Yeah, there's so much good stuff on Udemy on like Blender. There's a whole course on Udemy on just UV mapping. Yeah.
I went to the CE Sim school on UV mapping. He taught me.
Well, he does it. He does it the very simple way, which is just go up and do a face down. But you can actually go to the point where you actually take edges and stitch them together. Because if you're talking like things like a person's face, it gets really complicated.
Yeah. I'm not doing people's faces. I'm doing T signs.
And let's face it, most of the stuff that we do, especially like buildings, are really easy to UV map because it's just straight corners and stuff. But cool rocks. Yeah.
Cool rocks. Cool setup. I don't know if it's a biome or mainly plant or whatever, but it looked great.
That's
here's where I thought the wispy
looked good here.
Looked really good there.
It was just enough here just to notice it from far away, and it was moving at a good rate too. It wasn't too fast, wasn't too slow.
But I have to say, if you look at the fairway there, like the transition from the rough, actually the transition from the deep rough over the cart path to the rough
so
into
soft.
The fairway, it's so soft. It looks so natural right there. You don't see blend. You don't see any. It's so well done.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I brought this up not because this is an issue with any on the course. I brought this up really more for DPR maybe to go look at. This is where when you and I've been doing a lot of meshing the outer as opposed to using the outer terrain. And when you mesh the outer, I think because the outer terrain is not quite the resolution that the inner terrain is, that it doesn't when you conform it, they don't match, and it leaves a big set of gaps all along the edge between the inner and the outer. Now you're not going to see this most of the time, except where you've got longer sight lines. So like on courses, a lot of courses that I do that are high elevation that kind of look out over the whole course, I run into the meshing as kind of an issue where you the outer and the inner, because you see these gaps through it. I saw this one from one of the higher tees across looking out. So I brought this up more for us to go look at the tools and say, hey, is there a way that we can bring the outer and the inner terrain meshes closer to where they line without as many gaps? So that's why I took this screenshot. Really, it was more of a reminder for me to bring it up.
Oh, so this was a hole. I forget which hole this was, but I just thought it was really cool. I like what he did with a lot of the bulkheads and a lot of the holes. And then the one thing I did notice here, I wasn't sure. We were all talking about this earlier in pre-show. Some people thought this was a shaft of light hitting this, here. I guess it could be, but I just didn't. It doesn't.
Run said he thought it was a reflection probe.
Yeah, it
that
could be
maybe
reflection
was right there.
Yeah. Not sure what it is, and it's not even worth fixing in my opinion. I was just curious to see if anyone knew what it was, but yeah, reflection probe, probably a good call.
It's interesting. If you go back to the big picture. I just noticed this. No, I guess not. Never mind. I was gonna say it looked like it's the cart path. I like it, by the way. This is not a complaint. It's the cart path looks thicker in certain parts and thinner in other parts, as opposed to like how we normally follow the, you click through and then
you do a stroke and then you convert it to a path.
You do a stroke and you get the exact same uniform cart path the whole way down. But I don't think so. I think it's just the angle you took the picture. It's just kind of
maybe
moving around a little bit.
There.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a lot of Inkscape if he's like just manually
making
a cart path like that.
Well, you
that's
can still do the path and then just kind of move a little bit of the things and then smooth them afterwards. I've done that for courses.
Yeah, I've done that where like you want an area where it is wired like that. You convert it to a path, and then you take your nodes and you can just pull
take your
them
nodes, move them around a little bit. Yep.
Yeah. So I thought this was funny when I was capturing that other like image of the bulkheads. I'm sitting there and all I hear is glug 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 glug, and I turn around. There's like this tractor right underneath me. So this thing's like cruising around. I used to live on a farm. That's a planter. And I just want to say this is completely inaccurate. She's planting in the hayfield. You don't do that. Okay. This just bullshit. I just want to.
With all the rocks around, it's not good.
Now,
land.
She's about ready to run over that rock right there. Yeah, exactly.
She's going to destroy that tractor and that equipment. So,
might
want to fix that. Just saying.
Congrats on the MPOWs, guys.
Yeah, congrats.
Yep. Nice job. Great courses this week.
And now to our feature presentation. So we have our guests here, and
we need special music, Steve.
Special
like
music,
teaser music.
Like what kind of like dramatic music, or is it like excited music, or like city dweller music? Because that's kind of
I would say cigar smoking music, but like that would be like Red Velvet Room with
jazz.
So this has been something. When did you guys? Let's talk about, before we get into, like, some people might know what we're going to talk about, but where did the idea for this come from? Who started this, and what did you guys decide to get together and really kind of dig into this idea of a golf course in Central Park?
So the start of it was the AI generated image that was at Golf Digest out.
Yeah.
Where they said what it would be, what if we put a golf course in Central Park? I think it was the day later that I claimed it and said, hey, I want to do it. Reached out to Run, figuring he would maybe say like, hey, I'm jammed up for a couple of months, or like, let me think about it. And I think 30 seconds later, he's like, I'm in, let's do it. and it's weird because it doesn't look anything like the AI generated image. Like the scale isn't there from the AI generated. Like one course doesn't fit in 800 acres of land like they showed it. So it was just the idea that came from that. It didn't follow any of it, but that's what kicked it off back in start of November, I think.
November. So you've been working on this for what, 3 months now? November, December, January, going into about 3 months now. And now this is not released. This is a teaser. We're going to talk about what's coming, right?
Yeah, y'all are getting the first look at it.
Yep.
So we'll show the scorecards first because this will show you that it is definitely not ready yet because we got stuff for the description here, right? And a very crude stuff, a very crude image up here. So this is not quite released. Not even. I don't even know if you guys will release. We even release this in beta. You're gonna like just go with it, right?
It's gonna go with it.
Okay, that's what I figured. So when I first they sent this over, and I'm like, all right, let me throw up the score. Actually, I didn't throw up the scorecard. I'm getting ready to load it up in GS Pro, and I looked at the scorecard. It's not the scorecard, but you pick the holes, and I looked at 17 and 18, and I was like, holy shit, 714 yards and 613 yards. And you know what I immediately thought? I thought you guys were like hitting golf balls out of buildings. Like, no, it's a legitimate long hole. So
it is a legitimate long hole.
So you guys are going to release 2 courses, right? 2 18-hole courses, right?
Yep, north and south.
North and south.
Are these real courses that you've adapted, or did you literally architect from the ground up and have to, like, is there any LiDAR in Central Park that you're able to work with, or did you have to like literally carve every hole?
So I'll kind of do the high level overview of how it started. So Ryan came to me with the idea. I said, yeah, let's do it.
And then they said, oh shit, when they got down to what it's going to take.
Exactly. Then I realized it's how many acres? 843 acres, Ryan?
Yeah.
843 acres, which is like a normal course. I mean, you could fit like a course on 100 acres. Like that just shows the scale of this.
Yep.
Wow. So we initially got LiDAR. And the issue with it is that in order to get like the north and the south, because it's not square, it would the inner would have to be like 6,000. And so we ended up having 2 inners and scrapped that because it wasn't working at all, and ended up just doing 2 blank terrains and basically just 2 inners now, but they started from blank, and I just started with Inkscape and kind of created what I thought would be cool. I just had like a vision in my mind, and while I was doing that, Ryan did every single building, which we'll show, but I sketched it out in Inkscape, and then kind of just did, once I had it like kind of like finalized in Inkscape, put it into Unity and just started like doing kind of like a rough end of the what I thought the terrain would be like, and sent and built like 20 different versions for Ryan to look over, and he's like, hey, I like this, I don't like this. Chris CESM would also kind of help with that too. I said, just like, what do you guys like, what don't you like, and went through like 20 different iterations for the north and the south, probably respectively each at least. Ryan can attest to that, lots of builds. And that's kind of how the process went. Lots of trial and error.
So this is purely fictional. You made the holes, you created the terrain, you carved it all out. This is 100%. You couldn't, like, that's too bad. You're right. There's no way to do anything but a square inner. You could do a rectangular inner to make it work. That I don't.
Yes. So so for non-designers that are watching the show right now, when you create your course has to fit into a square, because that's the only thing that's supported in Unity. So if you have, in this case, these guys were dealing with a course that was very rectangular. So if you do that, all of a sudden to capture that rectangle, well, the one side of your square is the length of the rectangle, but the sides that go, have to match too. So it makes it really big. Then you run into resolution problems and digging issues and all kinds of things, and so it creates challenges. So that's.
And I guess you couldn't take two. You tried to take 2 inners, 2 smaller rectangulars, like the first half of the Central Park and the second half, but that wasn't working out for you with 2 terrains and 2 inners, and there wasn't working out. Was it Unity causing problems, or was it just?
It was definitely Unity. definitely Unity. I used more tools in my toolbox on this course than I have in a very long time. I used once I had it splined out in Inkscape, I used that image, and then I used Overhead Image Creator to kind of like to create an image to carve it from.
Yeah.
Because as you guys know, like once you're like modifying the terrain in Unity with the lighting, it's really hard to like tell like undulations for a fantasy course. It's nearly impossible. And Ryan was like, "Hey, these bumps are too big." I'm like, "You don't understand how terrible this is." And so like it was just a lot of trial and error on things like that. So Overhead Image Creator, I use that to kind of like create like a sort of a real looking course to modify the terrain. And it was that we needed all edges to be completely flat for Ryan's buildings to work.
Sure. Yeah.
So around the entire perimeter of the course, and because I have two inners between the north and the south, they had to be completely, or not completely flat, but the same exact level.
Right.
So
yep.
It ended up working out, and had to do a few finagling of things, but end result is good.
So I tell you what, I think this is the beginning of your foray into real life golf course architecture.
That's what I was just going to say. If you
about
could
a year
design
from now, I want to see a TechBud designed, a RunpuddRun designed real life course, not a sim course. Like I want to be able to go out near your house and you're like, hey, look, I architected this course.
It is really cool. Like it is a really cool thing that we did, me and Ryan.
I don't think I ever told you that. I thought that was the most impressive part. Is you 36 holes completely out of your imagination. I was like, damn, that was like amazing. A real course I would play. Like I loved the way it came together.
And I played the North course today in the sim, and I would think that after 36 holes or even after 18 holes, like the holes would kind of feel familiar, right? Because you're just kind of, they don't. They are, every hole is uniquely different. It's very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 36 holes. We got north and south, and here is the warm-up, which is in the Hudson. Now, when I first, I was really surprised when I turned this on. I felt like it's not Riverwalk, but I was like, wow, he built a whole other Riverwalk here, because not only, like, this is the default. When you turn it on, there's this called free score, and you have these targets out here, and you see, when hit targets, higher scores, and you're like, oh, it's this kind of Riverwalk where Ryan did a lot of work with the scripting with the GS Pro guys. But then I hit this little menu button over here, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different ways that you can warm up here. So, wow, Ryan, did you spend as much time on the driving range as you did on the rest of the course?
No, the legwork got a course that should be not named that was yanked, and then Riverwalk helped with all of this.
Sure.
But I wasn't sure that this would actually work, because Riverwalk runs through the on-course practice.
Yes, which you just change holes.
Yeah, I never tried the range, so I reached out to ATP on it. I was like, does the range actually use the scripts the same way as on-course practice? And he goes, I have no idea. Why don't you just go try it? And it worked.
That's great.
So I was like, at this point, like, we've never had a range that had scoring games in it. And I was like, if we're going to go big, like, let's build this so that, people, if they, are screwing around before the round, or maybe don't even want to play around, just want to warm up on, something, let's give it to them.
So, I mean, do you have any plans to actually break this out? So if people want to just play this completely separately and not have to go to warm up into the course, so you'll do something, or are you just going to plan to keep it in here for now?
I think you just hit head to range, and you could do it without ever teeing off on the course, and it would be the same.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, and what we need, it goes to feature requests. So we've already made this before. We need the ability to, I can favorite my favorite ranges.
Yes, exactly.
And I can just go to the practice section and click on the Central Park North range, and it just loads this up and brings me right to here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely have GS Pro section where you can just pick from all the practice ranges or different courses, and then have this one be one of them. Yeah. I went through every single one of these and just kind of loaded them up and take a look at. My personal favorite was the Yacht Chaos.
The Yacht Chaos, yeah.
Where there's this big yacht in front of you, and there's just people, and there's one dude that's just kind of taunting you, waving his arms, like, dude, I dare you, and you can hit him, and he falls over and yells, like bloody murder. So it's great.
I think like every other day, Ryan had like a new range for me to drop in. He like, I have no ideas, and he kept like sending me. He's like, I added this game, and I was like,
So
bring it on.
yeah, so like I know how to build a range of my courses. So can I? Where is like I assume I can fly over to this. Where is it? I never like as I was looking at the north and south golf courses. Is
Right in the
this? It's right in the middle.
It's right in the middle, but
so
I've yeah, go ahead.
The water bodies that exist on the course were actually do exist in real life.
Right.
Okay.
Like we traced those out, so those are actually the water bodies from Central Park.
Okay.
So we just popped it right in the big one in the middle.
Nice. All right. Hey, I missed it. I
This
can't
is
believe.
like on 18 when you tee off. This is directly to your left.
Okay. All right. I was actually
catch
cruising
glimpses
around
of
looking
it.
for strip clubs and cigar bars. So that's probably why I didn't really venture towards the middle of the course.
There's a few holes you'll actually see it from the course too.
Okay.
But it's and I was just messing around with it as well, but it's interesting because I guess the scripting of it, when you change the mode, it just changes in front of you. It's not another range somewhere else on a course. It's just changing what's in front of you. You know what I mean?
It is the range. It is the range.
It's the range.
Yep.
It's the
It's
range.
the range.
Yeah. And the range just changes automatically based on when you choose whatever mode you want to play on.
Yep. You're never changing spot. You're always on the same
Yep.
hitting mat. You're just changing visually what's in front of you with those menus.
Yep.
Very cool.
That's cool.
So hole number 1, and of course we have these really cool tee markers. We've got the buildings in the background, which immediately just immerse you, and you know you are in New York City.
Yeah.
And
The
you guys,
sounds.
oh yes, the sounds. Like as you move around, there's just like, I think at one point I was listening to the sounds and I heard a horse and a carriage go by. So did you guys actually find like New York sound bites?
Yeah, I was looking for sound bites that were city, and the one we found actually ended up being in New York. And I forget how long the loop was. It's like a 30-minute loop. So you're not hearing things on repeat a lot. Like it's actually like just the city playing out.
The city noises. That's awesome.
Yeah, I heard like a clip clop, and I was like, not only is it New York, but it sounds like Central Park. You know.
And there's 2 different versions of the audio, right, Ryan? There's one that's like that plays over everything. It's instead of like the birds and everything that you normally hear, the cityscape kind of sounds. And once you get to the perimeter of the course,
I noticed
we have louder things.
Yeah, I totally noticed that. Like when you are like, I can't remember where number 1 is, but if you're inside the park, yes, birds, you kind of feel more like you're out in nature. But then as you get towards the buildings, it totally changes.
Yep.
So did you have to put a bunch of like audio source locations around in like buildings in order for that to happen all the way around the course then?
Yeah, there's like 60 or so, I think.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's the stuff It's the stuff you don't think about. Like when you're thinking about this, and like, oh yeah, let's do this, and then all of a sudden, like, yeah, I want to do that. That's going to take 60 audio sources. Huh? Okay.
A lot of stuff going on.
I love this hole. It's kind of like I feel like I'm playing like Sawgrass in New York City now. You know, it's really nice. And then the cart path going all the way across. And this is the brilliant of how you design this RunpuddRun, which is you did a great job of like the tips are really hard, but then if you play the forwards, like the way you sloped everything, it looks like someone professionally designed this, and the people hitting in the front have an easier shot, but still not difficult. It's not easy. I mean, this took some thought.
Yeah, like a lot of
like
thought.
were you like there's water here, I want an island green, so you just built a green there, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I love that. Yep. That's so good.
And I also like how you dip the bulkhead in the front so the bunker's exposed.
Yep.
Great. Yep. Oh, so this is the 720-yard it's a par 5.
Par 7.
Par 7. That's, you know.
But look at the buildings. Look at the when I played this in the sim, the combination of listen, one thing that I've said it on the show 100 times, I like to feel immersed, like I am there, right? And this felt like between the buildings and the noises, it felt like I was playing golf in Central Park. I've been in Central Park 100 times, and it felt like I was in Central Park playing golf. It's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely immersive. I mean, what just the buildings there, like Ryan did so good with the buildings. Like it's just so cool. Like you can just look around in any direction, and there's just massive buildings surrounding you. It's just very cool.
And
there's not a ton of repeat buildings, by the way. I did intentionally fly around to look for repeat. Oh yeah, I was looking to see for repeats, and they're not. And then you add the gradient fog in, and it's like, yeah, I'm on the far end of the park, and so I got a little bit of. I mean, yeah.
There were over 1,000 buildings.
Yeah. How many unique buildings did you make?
Oh, I don't know. There are repeats, but I was able to keep the repeats from looking too much like each other. So especially in the first line, I used something called Buildify through Blender. So you basically make components of a building, and then Buildify lets you scale it up and say how many floors, what sections of windows do you want to be in these areas. And you can take one building and make it look like a completely different building using the same texture base. So I was able to repeat Buildify effectively that way. But yeah, I tried to keep. I did it all in one big Blender file, like a 4.5 million try Blender file, just so that I could look at it all at once and make sure that things weren't repeating a way that looked, like the heights were staggering, the looks were different. To the point where my old machine, I actually had to upgrade my PC because I literally couldn't open the Blender file anymore about halfway through the project.
Just hitting, like, how much RAM did you have to go to in order to start working with this?
Oh, geez, am I on? 64? I'm not on 64. I might be at 128. I don't know.
Wow.
I went high with whatever I did on the build because I was like, I need some power to pull this one off.
Now, are any of the buildings, did you try to replicate any real buildings? Because this one, like, I'm looking at this building straight across, like this white building with the towers on the top, and I'm like, I think I've seen that in New York. Or no, like, are these all just really random, but they just get the New York feel?
Most of them are just New York feel and not actual.
Okay.
A few of them like that were inspired by things that existed in New York. I mean, I was looking at Google Earth quite a bit, and kind of figuring out like what types of buildings they had. But none of them are like straight up like this is the exact building in this exact spot. Like it with 1,000, I was never.
Yeah, you were never going to get there.
1,000 either. Like some of them I got from city packs that I was able to put on the distance ones. So it's mainly the front row things I concentrated on.
Right.
And I could be, I show my ignorance here, but like, I don't know if you can, if you're in the middle of Central Park, you can't see the World Trade Center. You can't see some of the iconic buildings that are further away anyway, right? So you didn't have to replicate, the World Trade Center and things like that.
No, what you end up seeing is like on the far ends, there's a few notable ones. Like there's some apartment ones that just really rise above
Stand
all the
out,
rest, like a Billionaire's Row and things like that.
Yeah.
A few of those I tried to replicate the size and feel of, just so that if you're looking from one end of the park, in real life you'd see that type of silhouette happening. So I kind of replicated the feel of that kind of thing.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So then, of course, we have to explore around a little bit, and then so all around, I didn't end up counting the number of blocks around the outside. I'm guessing it's like the long side, I'm guessing, is a good 20 blocks maybe, and then the short sides are like 10 blocks. But it was really cool because what they did is the streets that like all the way, the long streets around it, they named one OPC Boulevard. They named another one like GS Pro Boulevard. The other one is RDeyer, and the other one's RunpuddRun. So the biggest streets have like these big, like their names, okay, that what they're associated with. But then all the cross streets that go up and down, you guys must have just gone into GS Pro and just found like everyone who built a course, because I'm going through there. There were actually a couple names I didn't even recognize. Going down, so you guys took like everybody's names, gave everybody a street. I found a street for me. Mashy had one. I couldn't put them all in here. Okay. Now I will say, now, I guess your inspiration there, like a lot of designers, just to go out and just try to get everybody's name in courses. Yep. And I'm assuming that's what you're trying to do here.
Yep.
Now, are you guys worried about takedown notices at all?
No.
Because you guys have some TrackMan intellectual property on this course. You do realize that, right? So you guys are gonna have to be...
Wait, I know who the great Mangini is.
Yes, this is just the Mangini.
This is his little cousin, Mangini. Like I
know a not so great Mangini. I don't know
who.
Well, it's moved over a little bit too. It looks like you erased part of the right-hand side over.
Well, not only that, but they put this on like some podunk alley, and there's a bunch of like bums on it too. Okay.
That was awesome. I love that. I love the signs. The signs, by the way, I'll be honest with you, when I flew through, I played through, then I flew through, obviously. I didn't notice, I saw the signs, I actually saw like OPCD, right? And I didn't really pay that much close attention until then I came upstairs and I loaded it up again in my SimPC. Then I was like, oh my God, there's like I think I saw Rusty Dave. It was the first.
Yeah. Everybody has a sign. Everybody has a sign.
There's no
so
repeats.
Then I went hunting. I was like, well,
there's no repeats. There's no repeats. Yeah. That was like that. That's like an organizational thing in itself, is keeping track of who has a sign and who doesn't, right?
And they're like alphabetical in nature, like going up and around the.
How many signs did you do, Ryan?
Masta shorted the guests by quite a bit. There's well over 100.
Oh, there are. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's almost 40 blocks along the edge.
Yeah, because you go 40 blocks on the edge, both edges, and then the short sides, you end up over 100 with it, I think.
Wow,
that's crazy.
I mean, it's a lot of work.
The question is,
signs for everybody.
Master Blaster, what we're gonna have to do is go figure out which is the made up name that he put in there. We got to find the one made up designer name that actually isn't a designer.
Oh, he did? Is that what he said? There's a one made up?
No,
I was gonna say, because there was one in there. I was like, wasn't quite sure. I'd seen it before, so I was like, is that made up? Yeah. Some of them aren't even designers. I think you guys went to the well and had to just find some of the guys on the SGT side.
He's got a sign. Yeah.
I went to SGT, and if there were some guys that I knew or posted a lot, I dug into the well because at some point I ran out of people.
Yeah.
Bull Pride had a sign.
Yeah, Bull Pride's in there.
Yeah.
But he's a good dude. He got a Riverwalk call out too. I mean, I tried to include him.
He's a good. He does a ton of work. Yep.
Yeah, he's the guy that I would imagine who will just like back you in a fight no matter what you're trying to do. You know.
He's coming out to Colorado for our B2B, our foursome.
That'll be fun. So then we got like pre-show. We started talking about. I said, "Oh, you got your team markers here, which is you guys built this silhouette of this guy taking a golf swing." And I said, "Oh, did you do the classic? You brought an image into Inkscape, trace it out." And Ryan's like, "No, that's old school. We don't do that." So then Mashy does it a different way, and so we're gonna pull our tip of the week into this course discussion, which is, Ryan, you're using some service where you can take a PNG that has a transparent background and convert it to SVG.
If you go to png to svg.com, and you put in the PNG, it'll automatically put it to an SVG, which is importable to Blender. And if you just tell it, I want it to have one color, or however many of the colors you want it to bring in, and then bring it into Blender, extrude it, and you're good to go. Like that tee probably took no more than 5 minutes.
Obviously that makes my method look archaic, and then Mashy's was even better than mine, but then Ryan just made us go, our heads exploded.
Yeah, I mean,
what have you been doing?
I have an image, and then in Blender, I just go to add, and then I'm looking right now, it's add, and then you go underneath image, and then you bring in the image as a plane, and then you just go to edit mode, and I use the knife, and I just cut what I want. And then extrude,
but that takes 10 minutes.
It takes 7. And then Ryan's was like, I take 5. Yeah, it's like name your tune. I can do that.
Ryan's like, I'm going to take 5 minutes because I need the rest of the time to build all these buildings, right?
Yep.
And then there's the Central Park Zoo, which is fantastic as well.
Are you planning on putting some animals on the rocks, some like bears on the rocks and stuff before you launch?
I should put the guys from Madagascar in there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is this exactly. Like put the giraffe poking his goofy head and feather?
Good call.
Going down the cart paths, freeing themselves from the zoo.
Yep, I love that. You should absolutely. I want to see some fashion divas like walking in with, you need to put some like a big cocktail party going on out here.
So I don't think that was. No, it's not the last.
No, I added a couple more. So this is 8 on the south course, which is the second 18.
That's right. That's right.
And so this again going back down, looking at the city, and then as you get down to the next one, right to the right of the green, there is the
Kevin McAllister, the Sticky Bandits. That's great.
Ryan, you wanna give a quick about the placement of this? You want to mention that?
And also the story about like the work you did or didn't do on getting this.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone else did the bust. It's a person that does 3D printing just made this up so people could make 3D models of Kevin, and this was what they had. So the work was already done. Just threw that in the blender and made up a sign for it. But we actually found out where in Home Alone 2, it's near the Gapstow Bridge. We figured out where he threw that bird seed and foiled the Sticky Bandits. And we popped it down as close as we could on the hole to be actually accurate.
That's so awesome.
That's good. That's good.
I love that. I wouldn't have thought to do that. I love that. That's so good.
And then on the background you have a gray wolf running through, right?
no gray wolf.
Okay, sorry.
but it only randomly shows every 10 minutes. So
I want to know like what special tools you guys have used to make this course, because the lighting is amazing. It's something we have never seen. Now it's this is really cool.
And then this is
the golf club.
I took this one second shot going on 18 on the south course. So you can see there is the golf club, the clubhouse, hitting into the green right there, kind of covered over the water. Really, really beautiful shot on your final hole on the second.
So
this one should liven up too, because I don't think we've done planting in this.
No,
there's we don't even have the flowers and everything that will be in front of the clubhouse eventually.
Yep. So one question is, when do you guys anticipate this being released? How far out are we still?
Probably a week, maybe a little bit less. I just have a few more things to finish up. We need to check some other things. So I just finished all the bunkers last night, technically. So I hand modeled every single bunker with the CE Sim Golf School of bunkers.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, the bunkers looked really nice.
The bunkers look great.
They took forever. And I finished Vertex. I've been up to like 2:30 a.m. the past 2 nights trying to finish this. So Vertex painted everything, custom Vertex painting for everything, and just have to finish some planting and rocks, and then T markers, hole signs, and some smaller things to finish up. But
did you have any like weird challenges with your reflection probes with the buildings and trying to like weird lighting? Because like the buildings here, like unlike a typical course where you put your reflection probes down and you're dealing with like, and this picture reminded me of this because it looks really good. Typically with the reflection probes, I'm just dealing with like trees and green colors, but now you've got these contrasting buildings, and you put your reflection probes down and you captured it perfectly. And this angle looks great. Did you notice any place also you're like, fuck, this reflection probe just looks like shit? Yes. Okay.
I've messed. I'm an experienced designer, so I kind of know I can usually get a reflection probe done in like 30 seconds. These ones took like probably 30 minutes each, and the problem is that the water bodies are so huge.
Yeah.
It just took a lot of fiddling. A lot of trying to figure out like between like real time and custom and baked and that kind of stuff. So I think every one is different. Like some are real time, some are custom, some are baked. So it just, but yeah, like that was a challenge for sure.
Yeah, and at some point you have to say, no, there's probably no chance that a golfer is going to be here. Screw it, right?
Yeah.
So two things. Run, you nailed the colors. Your colors, your blends, everything. It just looks really, really good. It feels really lush and green. So really, really great job on that. I loved it. And your transition from your deep rough grasses, and it's not in this picture but in the other ones you can see it. The transition from the deep rough grasses, it looked great all across the board. And I'll tell you, and not to put more work on your plate, but what I would love is
there we go.
For next winter, turn this into a winter course.
Oh, ooh.
I would love to be. You want people ice skating on a frozen pond out there. I want you see some Christmas lights or some holiday whatever.
But
like,
you only have to do it on one of the courses. You don't have to do it on both. It's okay.
Yeah. But like snow falling in the background, like Christmas holidays on this course in Central Park would be absolutely amazing.
Run, we were working together on making ice for your winter course. We could just bring it all over.
Yeah.
So just a suggestion or a hope or a wish. Great job, guys. This is amazing.
So is this our last slide, right?
That's the last screenshot.
Yeah, we go to the post of the week. My question for you guys is, do you have any other collaborations that you're considering at this point?
I don't know. So like when the last one we did together was Scottsdale, and we kind of each just went our separate ways after that. Each one of these projects, like once you like work with someone, like I work with CE Sim Golf on Prairie Knolls for like 4 months. This was like a good 3 months. I have lots of other things to do, and I'm sure Ryan has lots of other things to do. Eventually, I think we'll probably do another course together because I like working with Ryan and he does awesome work. So no plans currently, but definitely in the future.
We have been talking for months. We need to do another collab, and this just dropped, and it's like, yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
We'll look forward to whatever it ends up being.
Love it. Looking forward. Thanks for the teaser too. Like, this is going to get a ton of play.
Hope so.
Yeah, this is going to get a ton of play.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we move on to posts of the week. And
you guys want to stick around for post of the week and join us for the best part of the show?
Yep.
Second best after your teaser. Did you bring your posts?
I did not. I did not. Only
put them on the spot. You put them on the spot.
Don't worry, we brought a few. We got a couple. I don't have a ton, but I do have a couple this week.
We got a couple.
Any for the kids?
Any what?
Anyway.
Any for the kids?
Oh yeah. Well,
you know the reference.
All right. So, Mashy,
I think mine are first.
Yeah, yours are first. How do your builds go? Should I stay on the right for now?
Yeah, you're okay on the right now. And by the way, I will preface by saying I did not bring any lizard ball posts. Okay, so there will be no lizard scrotum today.
No triple X, no lizard porn tonight. Okay.
I love golf. I want more practice time without leaving the house. A friend recommended this group, so hi all.
Good idea. This is the group to join. That is the definition of sim golf, right? Golfing without leaving the house.
Anybody have any ideas? Like, what should I do? I want to play at home. I don't want to do anything. Now, I will say there were several comments, obviously, and one of them was, you're actually in the GS Pro users. Well, you should go to the golf simulator build forum and like that. But like, I've never really thought to join a Facebook group and introduce myself and be like, hey, any ideas out there?
Well, this actually will tie into a couple of my posts, which is make sure you tell people when you're leaving too. So.
Okay, fair.
This guy's introducing himself. Well, if you're leaving, make sure you do that. All right, we'll hold
fair.
that thought. But
I thought this was pretty good. All right, Move us over to the left.
All right,
if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me nauseous.
Morning.
What's
the advantage of the public beta? If I install it, do I have to stay in it all the time? I would never use the other version.
Ever. You'd never, ever in your life ever use the other version. Ever. If I put the beta on,
you're stuck.
What's the advantage? And I've never, ever could do it. Why? Wow, I better think twice about ever putting the beta on because I can never, ever go back and do it.
Yeah, you do find that there are a lot of people on Facebook in general who cannot make decisions for themselves, right?
Like, just break it. Like, break it, delete it, reinstall it. Like, cool. Like, it's software. You know what I mean? Like, just install the beta. It's fine.
Yeah, but
it's
I
all
think
good.
that scares the shit out of people.
Man,
computers
I know.
scare the shit out of people. Let's face it. Like, I know my dad, he is scared to hell of computers. He thinks that if he types the wrong thing in, his identity is stolen, he's on the black web, and his credit cards are gone.
My mother-in-law
not wrong.
called.
No, he's
My
not
mother-in-law
wrong.
called me. I am not kidding. My mother-in-law called me over the summer. It was several months ago, and she was like, "I think I did something wrong." I'm like, "What?" She was like, "A thing popped up on my computer, and it said I needed to install this now." So call
Oh,
them, and I
no.
called them, and I gave them my credit card, and they installed this
God.
software, and I was like, "Oh my
Oh,
god."
God. Cancel your
Yeah.
credit cards and wipe the
Yep.
computer.
Yep, exactly. Is exactly what I'm doing. But listen, I was gonna suggest in the comments, I was gonna type in there, you should go actually to the Discord channel and read the public beta channel, and it will tell you what's exactly coming out in beta. But then I realized that all that's gonna do is create more work for Bull Pride on how to get them on Discord in the first place. So I decided not to.
Yeah, poor guy. Yeah.
He could
Alright.
use that work.
You got to move us to the right.
Now, Run, I know you're on Facebook. You don't go on very often. Ryan, are you at all on Facebook?
Yeah, I just use it to drop announcements.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
you're
really
pretty
do
quiet.
it.
You're pretty quiet.
Yeah.
That's all I use it for as well.
Oh, I gotta move.
A little something.
Something.
Is this Tinder or is this home golf simulators?
I'm looking to get a little something started, like a little something. Any tips or pointers? Like, yeah,
Just looking for just the tip.
exactly. I get you posted it in the home golf simulator users forum, but in the channel, but like, get a little something started, a little something going.
Well, something.
Yep, a little something. Any tips, pointers?
All right. I'm assuming I should move back over here, right?
Nope, that's it. That was
Oh, that's it?
I'm done. That's all I had. Yep.
All right. I kept mine all over here. Now, of course, I can't remember what I started with. Oh, did you guys know there was an update to TGC? Now you can do backspin?
No idea.
It's now letting the ball spin backwards just now.
It's the first update in 10 years, and they added backspin. So,
Did you see the post? Did you see the post about? I think it was on Facebook. It might have been Discord. I can't remember. But it was in the GS Pro ones, and it was a guy who was posting his driver, and he had like 1,100 backspin, and they were like, dude, like you need some more backspin to make the ball actually fly in the air.
Yeah, but if he was on a
go.
foresight, then it went extra far, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, but it was like the lowest backspin ever. He's like, well, I bought this driver and they shafted it to lower spin. I guess it's doing it too much. And I'm like, holy crap.
A little bit.
The great thing were the comments in here where a couple people said, yeah, I noticed that recently too.
Confirmation bias is strong on Facebook.
Oh my goodness, right? You can get people to believe anything. Now, I did a little bit of a theme this week, and which is don't feed the trolls. Okay. Because this week I felt like more than ever there were a couple trolls that came out, and I debated whether to do this at all because if I do this, I'm feeding the trolls. I'm getting them a platform. Now, I did cross their names out, so we don't know who they are.
Okay.
But my advice is, and I think I'm going to just block people. Don't even comment when they post stuff. Just if you don't feed them, they'll go away because these guys are just horrible. Did you see any from this dude? This is what started. So this was this. I don't want to say his name. He came into this GS and he's just saying how easy the game is. I can do this with my eyes closed. People are 62 comments, and this guy is just replying to everything. And I ended up going looking. This guy I think really is mentally not right. I'm being serious. He is mentally not right. He just was loving all this attention, and these people are giving it to him. And some
people get off on the
the trolls. This is exactly what they're trolls. They just like the drama, right?
Yeah, the initial post, and they feed off the comments. They're
so then,
and
ended up like Josh Oddie. Do you guys know Josh Oddie, the sim golfer, the really good sim? Yeah. I mean, he got involved and ended up challenging this guy. Steve, another one of the SGT. I don't know really the SGT guys. The guy's number 1 or number 2 or number 3 in SGT. He came in and like challenged, and this guy backed down. There was this huge back and forth about the whole thing. Josh Audie ended up backing out because I think he saw how unstable and disturbed this guy is, and said, "I can't associate my guy with this, myself with this."
Nice.
But this guy continues to post, and I'm just telling everybody, dude, stop. Just stop. Don't feed the troll. Dude, feed the troll.
Don't feed the troll.
So then there was another troll, which is this guy decided to post to every simulator forum. This goes to the person that said, "Here I am. Hi, everybody." This guy saying, "I'm leaving."
I love the folks that announce they're leaving.
Yes.
Just so you all know, I'm so self-important that I'm going to let you know that I'm leaving.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, everything he says in that post is completely true, but
for sure.
But you don't have to tell us that. Like,
just go, be quiet. I mean, the thing is, everybody complains about the repeated questions and not knowing stuff, but at the same time, and like the people are asking, they don't know, and I see both sides, and the world is a horrible place, in my opinion.
I think I look for the very few, but every now and then we see them like posts or replies that win the internet for the day.
Yes.
And there was one earlier today, and I didn't grab and put it in here, but somebody had posted about, "Hey, I got a new projector. What's the most scenic, most graphics intensive course out there in GS Pro to go test my new projector on?"
Grey Wolf.
And somebody replied, well, Grey Wolf. Somebody, of course, the first reply was Grey Wolf, and the second reply was DPC search bar.
But honestly, look at the bottom one here. The guy in 4 hours, he's got 39 comments, right? Stop feeding the trolls, people. Just let them go. If you stop, just let them go away. Yeah, if you give them attention, they keep on coming back.
Someone actually put like a hugging emoji down there. Like, give you a hug on the way out, brother.
Bye.
He's not wrong on his post. Run is right. He's not wrong on his post. Like, know.
No. Yeah,
that's why I stay off Facebook.
Yeah, you're
smart. It gets frustrating. That's
why
I like the OPCD page. At least, people there are for the most part civil, except for me.
But to be fair, if we didn't have Facebook, we wouldn't have this segment. So there we go.
True. Yeah, right. There we are. That's it for me. That's all I had. So
okay, good. Good. Good post. Love them.
Yeah.
Love them. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Awesome course. Thanks for giving us a little sneak peek tease at it, and wishing you guys much success with the release of these 2 18-hole courses and an amazing driving range. It's fantastic work.
Yeah, just when you think like cool new stuff can't come out, then you guys do something like this. So thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. It's been
really great. All right. We're done. We'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Night.